Hi guys, again our video for you. This one is about our team's biggest draft bust since 2015. So yeah, the rules. So mostly kind of just one. So for every player, I did like some guys are drafted after him just to show like who they could have taken. For that, I try to only do it the next like guys are taken to the next picks, 10 picks. Because yes, they could like yeah, there's also 30 more guys that they missed out on, mostly, but like they if they aren't within the 10 picks, they probably at the time probably thought they've been reaching. So it's like they might not have gotten them. Obviously, hindsight, they could definitely would have, but in hindsight, some of these guys probably wouldn't have fallen to their pick, depending on what pick they are. So yeah, I only did the stats with them. Well, some guys didn't really do anything after they left, anyways. This was started first got the Arizona Cardinals with their first QB, starting in 2018 draft with the 10th overall pick. QB Josh Rosen out of UCLA. Yeah, they trade up for him too. Trade up for him from pick 15 to 10 with the Raiders. He did not do good. He only spent one season with them. He didn't do good. Bad record. Yeah, team front around him was terrible as well, but he's still top 10 quarterback pick. You usually don't give up on in 1 year. They did get a second round pick for him, but I don't even think that turned out that much. Anyways, so yeah, he played in 14 games. His record was 3-10. He threw for 217 completions and 393 attempts with a 55.2 completion percentage, 2,278 yards, 11 TDs, and 14 interceptions. So yeah, he didn't do much. He wasn't within 10 picks, but like they didn't take him. They could have taken Lamar Jackson. He went 32 to the Ravens. That would have been a really good pick. Maybe I doubt they have Lamar will pick the next year in 2019 just because Lamar would have had you would think would have had a better rookie year than Rosen, but but if you do still number one pick, you get draft Nick Bosa, maybe you can draft Clem Williams, Josh Hines Allen, all those guys. The 2019 draft class had a lot of good D linemen, and they could have used that. And then safety Patrick with the next pick to Dolphins. He only spent one season with the Dolphins, but he was one of their picks. The tackle Vita Vea, he went pick 12. Same thing. And then Jerome Payne, pick 13. Could really use D tackle, and they didn't get either of them. Then another safety at 17, Jarman James. Had some really good years for the Chargers. Corner, Jair Alexander, went 18 to the Packers. Could have released. They had Pat P at the time. They didn't have Myron Murphy though. Peterson only was with them for a couple more seasons. So yeah. And center Frank right now. He's been really good for the Lions. They could have probably used some help on the 2-year line there. So yeah, staying on offense for next time. Going to skilled positions. We're going to the Falcons with 20 tight end Kyle Pitts, who went with a fourth pick to in 2021 to the Falcons out of Florida. Yeah, like first, it seems like every year we're like, maybe this year he finally break out. He hasn't done that at all. He hasn't done that yet. He has been like first few years, we're like, yeah, he had Arthur Smith. Like, how much is that him? He didn't have great quarterback play. Yeah, it's kind of time. And he was a top 5 pick. Like, if you want to get more weapons for, was Matt Ryan still their quarterback at that point? I think he might have been. Then he could have grabbed Jamar Chase. He could have drafted Trail Waddle. Could have gotten a new for. Maybe they had Caleb McGarry, so they never leaned a tackle. They honestly had Jake Matthews. Hey, you could have gone Micah Parsons. Boom, that would have fixed your pass rushing problem right there. Even Devontae Smith, they're very up in. If you hey him, these Patrick Tan or even J.C. Horn could have been a really good cornerback duel with H.J. Terrell. Like they missed on some really good players, and they said they took Pitts, who hasn't worked out. So yeah, his stats so far: he's playing 61 games. He has 196 catches for 2,651 yards and 10 TDs. He hasn't done much. Maybe he can turn around his most likely final year with them, but we'll see. So yeah, staying in offense, going to our first AFC team though. Staying in the position, we're going to our receiver this time. Going to Baltimore Ravens with our receiver, Rashad Perryman. Went pick 26th in 2015 to them. He literally did nothing. He did nothing. Like, yeah. Wasn't a ton of great players never drafted near him, but still wouldn't been many worse than him. So yeah, his stats for the Ravens: he played 27 games. He had 4 starts for 43 catches, 576 yards, and 3 TDs. He did nothing. Like some players they could have drafted instead of him was corner Byron Jones, picked 27 to the Cowboys. He's been in the league for a couple of years now, but he has some good years with the Cowboys and Dolphins. They didn't have Marlon Humphrey at that point yet, so they could have used some help there. Safety Landon Collins at pick 33. I don't know. Obviously, they didn't have any safeties they have now. I don't think they added Derek Will yet, but I could be wrong there. And tackle Donovan Smith. He went 34 to the Buccaneers. Another guy who struggled in recent years, but he had some good years with the Bucks. And guard Lincoln Thompson. He went pick 28 to the Seahawks. I'm blanking on where he went, but yeah, he's had struggles as well in recent years, but he has some good years as well. So yeah, like yeah. Then next we got our first defensive player. The video we're going back, staying in the AFC. Going to the Bills. Going to the secondary. We got Bills the corner Kaiir Elam. Going to pick 23 to them in 2022. Yeah, he's been a bust. They traded him a couple of weeks ago to the Cowboys for pretty much nothing. Like he barely played, as you see. He only played 16 games with them, but even when he did play, he did not look very good. Um, yeah, and it sucks. Like their conference rival, the Chiefs, trade up in front of them to get Trent McDuffie. It's worked pretty well for them. So they got a young who hasn't. So yeah, he played in 16 games for him. I don't know why he puts your nothing starts. He had 55 total tackles, 39 solo, four per pass deflections, and 2 INTs. He just was not that good at all for them. And now he's off the team. Players drafted after him. They could have gone Tyler Linderbaum, center pick 25, went to the Ravens, a couple picks later. They had Mitch Morris at this point, but maybe you can move one of them to guard. Probably Morris if you move one of them, just because Linderbaum's can really only play center. Edge rusher Jermaine Johnson, pick 26 of the Jets. They had Greg Rousseau at the point, but Von Miller, I think that was last season's time Von Miller, but he was super old. Like, they had AJ Epinesa at that point, who we didn't know for sure was an alternate on anything, but still, he was only a second round pick. Then guard Tyler Smith. Okay, I think so these picks. But yeah, he went a few picks after Elam to the Cowboys. He's been good help there. Bills could have used some help protection. Then another Chiefs first round pick, edge rusher George Karlaftis. Went to pick 30 to them. Yeah, like if you don't go Johnson, you want to go pass rush instead still. Karlaftis could have been a really good duo with Rousseau these past couple of seasons. And he would take the guy away from the Chiefs. Just saying. So, yeah. Next, we got the Panthers. Going back to the offense. Got our second quarterback of the video. Got them with Bryce Young. You want to pick one to them in 2023. Let me fix this text. There we go. Sorry. There we go. There. So you just see. So yeah, I think there's still a chance he can turn it around. It's just not only was he has not done a ton for a former first overall pick so far, and he wasn't just a first overall pick. Technically, you traded a ton for him. You traded 2 firsts. You traded DJ Moore. You traded at least 1 second, maybe 2. So you gave up multiple picks just to get him. Hasn't worked out great. He hasn't had a ton of weapons, but still, when you give up that much, you gotta hope you turn out better than this. Maybe if you don't go up for him, you can get Caleb Williams last year, maybe, and you deal it for free because you would like imagine they would have been even worse without Young. Well, maybe I guess maybe they draft Lil Levis in that draft. But yeah, like after top 3 quarterbacks taking that draft, the QB class is not that very good in 23. But yeah, stats wise so far he's playing 30 games. He's 28 starts. He has 6-22 record, 549 completions on 911 attempts, 60.3 completions percentage for 5,280 yards, 26 TDs, and 19 INTs. Yeah. So he does this year. He did start bouncing back after he got benched and came back, but wasn't a ton. And they could have taken quarterback C.J. Stroud instead. I doubt he would have done as good his first 2 seasons with them, just because Panthers are not a good team as the Texans. But still, he's done better. Edge rusher Will Anderson, pick 3. They did have Brian Burns at that point, but he left after the upcoming season. Anderson and Derek Brown could be a really good duo. Corner Devon Witherspoon, you want to pick 5 to the Seahawks. Yeah, him and J.C. Horn could have been a really good corner duo. D tackle Jalen Carter, pick 9 to the Eagles. Yeah, they have Derek Brown, but him and Derek Brown could be a really scary duo together. Running back Bijan Robinson, pick 8 to the Falcons. They had True Hubbard at that point, but he really hadn't breaking out a ton. They hadn't extended him yet, so they could be serious. I'm not saying they would draft the number 1, but that's just another good player they could draft instead. Next, we're staying in the NFC. We're staying at quarterback. We're going to Chicago Bears with QB Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, it was really team. I could have gone Kevin White. Could have gone who's the other former edge rusher that kind of Kevin White dealt with injuries, and he would Trubisky on the high, you want to pick 2, and instead of him, instead of drafting Patrick Mahomes, they drafted him, or even Deshaun Watson. Like Deshaun Watson's not good anymore, but he had some good years with the Texans, so they could have gotten him. But yeah, for them, he played in 51 games. He had 50 starts. He had 29-21 record, 1,010 completions on 1,577 attempts with a 64.05 completion percentage with 64 TDs, 37 INTs, and 8 rushing touchdowns. He did lead into the playoffs twice. They didn't have any playoffs wins. But yeah, he had really one good year, and that's really it for them. Players they could have drafted instead were running back Chris McCaffrey at 8. They wouldn't have had a quarterback, but McCaffrey would have been a really good weapon. So yeah, then obviously you beat Patrick Mahomes. Like if they got him, I doubt he probably done as good as the Bears as he's done with the Chiefs, just because Bears aren't a great situation. Like Bears have had bad coaches. Chiefs have had Andy Reid. Chiefs lately have struggled getting good weapons for him, but they've had good weapons for him. Bears have had really Allen Robinson, now DJ Moore and Kane Allen. That's in recent years. And then Pat Dunjay. Yeah, in the corner, Marshawn Lattimore, pick 11. They didn't have Jalen Johnson yet because he was a 2020 pick, so they could have used help with corner. Safety Jamal Adams at pick 6. They did have Eddie Ramos, but they didn't have Eddie Jackson yet because they got him in this draft later, so they could have used help safety. And then quarterback Deshaun Watson. Everybody hates him now, but he did have some good years with the Texans before he went to the Browns. So yeah, next going back to the AFC, we're going to the Bengals. Staying in 2017 NFL Draft, we're going to the Bengals with wide receiver John Ross. And you want to pick 9 in 2017 in them. Could have gone Billy Price, who was a 2018 pick. He was the best first round. But you know what saved him? They saved them by trading him for BJ Hill somehow, and somehow the Giants thought it was a good idea to trade BJ Hill for him. Like I don't know how that worked out, but that kind of saved it. And John Ross, they never traded him, so yeah. Stats-wise with him, he played in 27 games. He had 20 starts, 51 catches on 733 yards and 10 TDs. Yeah, he was pretty much fast. He didn't really do much else. Players draft after him. QB, Patrick Mahomes, pick 10. Yeah, kind of already said it with the Bears. But they didn't have any adults at that point, but he was getting older. He only lasted a couple more seasons. So maybe they do what the Chiefs did, and they develop Mahomes for a year as a backup behind Dalton. So yeah, corner, Marshawn Lattimore, kind of said the same thing with the Bears. Could have helped that defense this year. QB Deshaun Watson, pick 12. Kind of the same thing as Mahomes. Maybe develop him for a year behind Dalton. Also, linebacker Hassan Reddick at pick 13. They had some decent edge rushers, but they don't really have anybody they have now. Hassan Reddick did take some time to be good, but he's been good. The corner Marlon Humphrey at pick 16 to the Ravens. Yeah, he's been good for a while for them. They could have used to help in the secondary this year. And D tackle Jonathan Allen at pick 17. This was before they had BJ Hill, before they had Sheldon Rankins, so they didn't really have much. I don't really. Why am I Geno Atkins, that's who they had defensive line. I could literally see his face. I just can't think of his name. But yeah, they could definitely use some defense. Yeah, these defensive guys could maybe they help their defense not be as terrible this year. So yeah. So that's it for them. Now let's go to the Browns. Staying at wide receiver, going to 2016 draft. We got the Browns with Corey Coleman. He went to pick 15 to them in 2016. Recent years, they've done a little better drafting, but they also haven't had a first round pick in 3 years because of the Sean Watson trade. So how much is that just because they haven't had a first round pick to use? Because, yeah. But yeah, even when they did have first round picks in recent years, they were doing a little better. But past, they weren't. So, like, they drafted Danny Shelton, drafted, like, give me a second. I am blanking on some of their own. Sorry. Browns draft history. There we go. There. Let's see. Maybe Gary Newsom the second, but he has some decent years. He's just dealt injuries. Greedy Williams didn't do anything, but he's also a second round pick. I did small star try to stay away from that. Danny Shelton, Cameron Irving, those were bust. But yeah, and then yeah, I stopped at 2014. Obviously, if I did 2014, it probably would have been one of these two, Gilbert Manziel. Might have been Gilbert instead of Manziel, just because Gilbert was drafted 14 picks higher. But yeah, Oregon. 3 years before that, Trent Richardson 2012. I didn't go that far. But yeah, Goldman didn't do anything. Like in 2017 when they went 0-16, he had a chance of catching a ball that could have got them to win in one game against the Steelers that year. Instead, he dropped it, and then they went 0-16. So yeah, stats-wise, he played 19 games with them. He had 18 starts, 56 catches, 718 yards, and 5 TDs. He just didn't really do anything for them. Ended up replacing them pretty quickly. They got Jarvis Landry and OBJ for a few years. OBJ didn't do much for him, but they did get him. So yeah, players they could have drafted instead. The next pick, they could have gone Taylor Decker at 16. They didn't have Conklin or Worse at the time, so they could definitely. Wills, not Worse versus Bucks tackle, but yeah. Center Ryan Kelly at 18. Yeah, I don't really know. Some of these older ones, I don't really know all their stars at the time. So I don't really pay as much attention to NFL time. But yeah, I could have used some help center. Corner, William Jackson, 24. Didn't have Denzel Ward yet. They got him 2018, so they could have used some corner. Safety, Keanu Neal at 17. He wasn't really quite worth 17th pick, but he's been a good safety for a few years. And they didn't have Drew Peppers at that point, and they didn't even last that long. Peppers didn't because they traded him a couple years after they drafted him. But yeah, now we're going to the Cowboys. Going back to the defense for the first time in a little bit. We got the Cowboys with edge rusher Taco Charlton. He went with pick 28 in 2017. Yeah, he did nothing. He didn't really do anything. He's got a cool name like Taco. You want some tacos? Here's some Taco Charlton. Yeah, he didn't really do anything. So yeah, that's why he plays 27 games for them. He had 7 starts, 1 forced fumble, 4 sacks, 4 6 total tackles, and 28 solo. Yeah, he didn't really do anything. They didn't have Mike Parsons yet. They had Demarcus Lawrence, but they didn't really have anything else off the edge. So they could really use some good pass rusher. And who won a couple picks later? Defensive guy who's won a couple defensive player of the years. TJ Watt at 30. Like maybe they might not draft Micah Parsons in 2021 just because they would have had Watt and Lawrence at that point. But hey, maybe they need to use that pick as somebody else that could help you out. So yeah, tackle Ryan Ramczyk at 32. They had Tyron Smith. That's still I can't think of who the right tackles at that point. Ramczyk, he had to retire recently due to injuries, but he had some really good years for the Saints. Tight end David Njoku at 29. They had Jason Winston at that point, but he only lasted a couple more seasons with them. Safety Buda Baika at pick 36. Yeah, he's been really good for the Cardinals. Tackle Cam Robinson at 34. He's been struggling. He struggled this last year for the Vikings, but he had some good years with the Jags. So yeah, that's it for them. Going back to the AFC, going to another quarterback. We got the Broncos with QB Paxton Lynch. He went with them, pick 26 in 2016. So yeah, they trade up for him too in that draft to try to have him be their replacement for Peyton eventual replacement for Peyton Manning, who retired after the Super Bowl that season. Maybe obviously he was the fourth round, so he's way after this, but maybe they can go. Maybe they could have gone Dak Prescott, and boom, maybe their playoff drought doesn't last almost 10 seasons after the Super Bowl win. Yeah, he literally barely played with them. He had 5 games played, 4 starts. He had went 1-3, 79 completions to 128 attempts, 61.7 completion percentage, 4 TDs, and 4 INTs. He did nothing. He really did. So yeah, I didn't put him on here because Dak was like 100 picks later. But yeah, said they could have drawn D tackle Kenny Clark in 27. They really needed a ton of help on defense because the defense was a big part of the reason they won the Super Bowl this year, but could still really been good for them. 10 and Hunter Henry, pick 35. They've been searching for a good tight end for a few years, and it could have gotten Hunter here. Linebacker Miles Jack and linebacker Jalen Smith. They're both out of the league a couple of seasons now, but they had some pretty good years with their respective teams. So yeah, now let's go back to NFC. Going back to the defense, get the Lions with the corner Jeff Okuda. You want to pick 3 in 2020 to them. Yeah, he was total bust. He had some injuries, but even then he did great. So yeah, stats wise, he had 25 games played, 22 starts, 124 total tackles, 103 solo, 10 pass deflections, 2 INTs, 1 touchdown, and 1 forced fumble. Yeah, he didn't really do anything for them. Players that could draft instead of him. Tackle Andrew Thomas, pick for next pick to the Giants. They had Terry at that point, but they didn't have Penny Sewell, so they could have had him. So they could have gone Thomas instead. QB Tua Tagovailoa, pick 5. Yes, they had Stafford at that point, but he only lasted one more season. Only lasted one more season with them, so maybe they developed Tua for a year to find them. QB Justin Herbert, pick 6. Kind of same thing. Tua. They tackled Derek Brown at pick 7. Didn't have McNeil. They didn't have Ricky at the time, so they could use to tackle. And then tackled Tristan Wirfs at pick 13. So Bucks. Kind of the same thing. You're trying to Thomas. So that's for them. Staying in their division. Going to Packers. Staying at corner. First and only second round pick, I believe, this video. He was the first second round pick of that draft because he was picked 33. But corner, Kevin King, pick 33 to them in 2017. Yeah, like for the most part, they've been decent at drafting first. Could have gone Darnell Savage. He wasn't a great first round pick, but he had some good years. King didn't really, and he in the year the Bucks won the Super Bowl, he gave up a late first half touchdown to Scotty Miller that pretty much cost them the game. Yeah, King has had some coverage problems. So yeah, he played in 51 games for them, 42 starts, 197 total tackles, 158 solo, 1 sack, 30 pass deflections, 7 INTs, and 2 forced fumbles. Instead of him, could have gone safety Buda Baker at 36. Humongous second round, could have gone Baker. They didn't have Amos at that point. They believe they still had Ha kind of Dix at that point, but I believe he probably only had like one or two more seasons for them. Then safety Marcus May at 39. Same thing Baker. And then safety Marcus Williams at pick 42. Could have really up that secondary. Like 3 guys that are really good years of safeties at points. So yeah. Next we're going back to the AFC, going to Houston Texans, going to another corner, 3 corners in a row. Going to Texans with corner Kevin Johnson at pick 16 in 2015. Could have gone Kenyon Green, who has done nothing for them. But he had some guys, but I feel like going Kevin Johnson. I feel like his big draft bust nobody really talks about. So yeah, and Johnson was, I think they were drafted around the same pick, but yeah. Stats-wise, he had 35 games for them, 18 starts, 127 total tackles, 106 solo, 1 INT, and 14 pass deflections. He just didn't do much for them. Player judge after him, could have gone Eric Armstead, pick 17. They had Jadeveon Clowney from the previous year, so maybe they don't go him because they also had J.J. Watt, obviously, at that point. But Clowney wasn't a great pick at 1, so yeah. Corner, Marcus Peters at pick 18. He's been a good corner. He's had some good years. Linebacker Bud Dupree at pick 22. Took a little bit to develop, but he had some good years. Tackle DJ Humphries at 24. The Cardinals, maybe he could help sell their tech protection. Linebacker Shaq Thompson at pick 25. He has some really good years for the Panthers. So yeah, that's it for them. Going staying in NFC, staying in the secondary, but this time we got a safety. Got the Colts with safety Malik Hooker. Another 2017 guys. Few 2017 guys in this video. You want to pick 15 to them at 17. He is all right for them, but his best years have been with the Cowboys, and he didn't have those really that good of years with the Colts. So yeah, he's playing 36. He played 36 games for them, 35 starts, 7 INTs, 11 pass deflections, 125 total tackles, and 81 solo. Yeah, he was not worth 15 over pick for them. Could have drafted corner Marlon Humphrey. Could have helped their corner problem they have right now. They tackled Jonathan Allen, pick 17. They had a receiver, I believe, at the point. They didn't have Forrest Buckner yet, so they could release Allen. Tackle Garrett Bowles at pick 20. Yeah, like part of the reason Andrew Luck retired early is because they had tackle problems. Like they drafted Braden Smith the next year in 2018, so they could have released tackle. Tight end Evan Ingram at 23. I don't really even know who the tight end is then, but this is before they added Eric Ebron for a couple seasons. So yeah, safety Jabril Peppers at pick 25. He would have been better than Hooker. Then corner Adoree Jackson at pick 18. He's a good corner for a few years. So yeah, just some guys I could have used. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Staying on defense, going edge rusher this time. Got them with Dante Fowler, 2015 with pick number 3. Could have gotten our edge rusher in 2022, Trayvon Walker. But because like he had a breakout year this last season, but hasn't really been worth the number one overall pick so far in his career. But like Fowler, like he has had some good years. Problem is, he had all those good years after he left. Like he didn't do a ton when he was on them. So yeah, so that's why he played in 39 games for him. He had 1 start, 62 total tackles, 49 solo, 14 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. Yeah, like he did all of his best seasons once he left. So yeah, players drafted after him. They could have drafted Amari Cooper at pick 4. A really good weapon for at the time Blake Bortles. Guard Brandon Sheriff at pick 5. Maybe they get him when he starts his career instead of near the end of it. Edge rusher Leonard Williams at pick 6. Could have helped the pass rush if you still wanted to go on the defense. Running back Todd Gurley at pick 10. He disappeared real quick, but he had some really good years for the Rams. Tackle Andrews Pete at pick 13 to the Saints. Yeah, he had some good years for the Saints. So yeah, next staying in the AFC, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe our first running back going to the Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He went to the 32nd pick in 2020. Yeah, like they had a good team at the point. Like they just won the Super Bowl and they kept almost I believe like all but 1 or 2 of their starters from the Super Bowl. So you just kind of like just trying to get help. And Hilaire wasn't really that. So yeah, stats-wise, he played in 48 games for them, 32 starts, 441 carries, 1,845 yards, 12 TDs. Receiving-wise, he had 89 catches for 765 receiving yards and 7 receiving TDs. Just not really what you're hoping for from a former first-round pick at running back. They could have drafted wide receiver T. Higgins at 33. They had Tyreek Hill at this point still for a couple seasons, but Higgins or even Michael Pittman at 34. Those two, even one of those two with Tyreek Hill, like a really good duo. Had a great replacement for Hill once you trade him. Safety or Xavier McKinney at 36. They still had Tyrann Mathieu. He lasted 2 more seasons with them. Didn't really much out of their safety. Safety Kyle Duggar at 37. Like a timeout, people thought it was a reach to the Patriots, but he was pretty good. Guard Robert Hunt at pick 39. Maybe if they get a good Robert Hunt, maybe they don't lose that Super Bowl to the Bucs because he would have helped their O-line because they didn't have Creed Humphrey, they didn't have Trey Smith, they didn't have Joe Tooney yet. So yeah, the running back Jonathan Taylor at pick 40. Still want to draft a running back? You could have gotten Taylor, who's much better in his career so far than him. So yeah, next we're going to stay in the division, stay in the AFC. Going back to defense, got Raiders with edge rusher Keenan Farrell at pick 4. It's a good thing they got Max Crosby in round 4 this year because I feel like if they didn't, a lot more people would be talking about how bad their draft was this year. Like they had 3 first-round picks, and the only one that was good was Josh Jacobs, and that was the last of the 3, and he was a running back. So it's like when you have 3 first-round picks, you're kind of hoping your best out of the 3 isn't just a running back because running backs is too overvalued, and now Jacobs is gone because they drafted Farrell 4. They drafted Jonathan Abram at 24, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact pick top of my head. But yeah, it's a really good thing they got Crosby, and even Hunter Renfrow later. So yeah, that's why he had played in 48 games for them. He had 30 starts, 105 total tackles, 58 solo, 10 sacks, 11 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. He was a total bust. So yeah, players after him. This draft class had a lot of good defensive linemen. Some of them were later picks. So linebacker Josh Hines Allen picked 7. Jags, so really good. 10 TJ Hawkinson pick 8. They didn't have Bowers, so they could have released it in. D tackle Ed Oliver picked 9. Linebacker Rashawn Gary at pick 12. D tackle Christian Wilkins pick 13. Maybe you get him early on, so you don't have to pay him. Then guard Chris Lindstrom at pick 14. Could have been a really good protector for Derek Carr at the time. So yeah. Now we're staying in the division still. Going to the LA Chargers, staying on defense, staying in the 2019 NFL draft class, going later in the first round this time. Got them with D tackle Jerry Chillery at pick 28. Yeah, he was not very good for them. Like, there was for sure one more D lineman from the late first round 2019 draft class. Maybe another one I can't think of, but I know there's at least one more. But yeah, Chillery didn't really do anything for them. So yeah, and now he's playing. Now he's signed with the Chiefs. So I played in 54 games for them, 105 total tackles, 57 solo, 10.5 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles and 2 pass deflections. Not versus first round pick. He wasn't even very good at attacking the run. Players drafted after him that could have gone instead. Tackle Caleb McGarry at 31. Yeah, could have released tackle help. They didn't have Rashawn Slater yet. They didn't have Joe Alt yet, obviously. So they could release that. Corner, Byron Murphy Jr. at pick 33. So they still have Casey Hayward at this point? I think they might have had him then. But yeah. Or zero Debo. Samuel pick 36. Maybe if you get Debo, you don't grab Clinton Johnson. 23. So yeah. Tackle Javon Taylor at pick 35. Could have been a good tackle from him too. I didn't go Clinton Johnson because I feel like he had a little bit better of his sophomore season. So I feel like he has a chance of not being a complete bust versus Tillery. He's already off the team, so he already is. So yeah. Next, you got the Rams. Forgot about his second round pick. It's really just because there wasn't much to choose from because they have had no first round picks. Like there was only so let's see, Goff. So there was only 3 guys. Believe for sure. I think for sure 2, maybe 3. I'm forgetting about to choose from first round picks because they traded all of them. And the 2 ones I can think of for sure off the top of my head are Jared Goff and Jared Verse. Worked out pretty well for them. Goff is out the team now, but they trade him, and he's part of the trade that helped them get Stafford, who helped them win the Super Bowl. Verse had a great rookie year. So yeah. Oh, let's get So yeah, sorry to Atwell. Like it's not really anything against you. It's just you're kind of their worst second round pick in recent memory. Like they re-signed him on your deal, but he hasn't really done a ton. So yeah, it was 57th pick in 21. So yeah, playing 54 games so far for them. 23 starts, 99 catches, 1,343 yards, 4 TDs, and 1 rushing touchdown. It's not really worth it. Players drafted after him. Linebacker Nick Bolton could have been a really good linebacker help. Another linebacker Pete Warner picked 60. Could really help linebacker. Center Creed Humphrey at pick 63. Now their line's good, but at the time, their interior line did have some struggles. Safety Andre Cisco pick 65. Could be really good at young secondary now. So yeah. So that's it for this one. Now let's go to the Dolphins. For them, we're going at the defense. Got edge rusher Charles Harris. They come with his 22nd pick in 2017. Another guy that really never did anything for him. So yeah, he played 41 games for them. He had 8 starts, 2 pass deflections, 61 total tackles, 34 solo, and 3.5 sacks. Yeah, could have gone with tight end Evan Ingram, 23. Didn't have Mike Gesicki yet. So yeah, safety Drew Peppers, 25. They didn't draft Mika Fitzpatrick yet. So corner Tre'Davious White at pick 27. Could be able to that corner. Tight end David Njoku at pick 29. Kind of same thing. So Ingram. Edge rusher TJ Watt at pick 30. If you want to go Pedro, you could have got TJ freaking Watt. And then tackle Ryan Ramczyk at 32. Yeah, he has good years with the Saints. So yeah, now let's go to the Vikings. Going to the receiver. Going to send first round though. Got the Vikings for the receiver, Laquan Treadwell. And pick 23 in 2016. Yeah, like they didn't really do anything at all. There was a ton of players they could draft with the next pick, 10 picks, but still, Treadwell was not a 23rd overall pick. So that's why I see he played in 54 games for them, 6 starts, 75 catches, 701 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, Dimbley didn't help. Adam Thielen's fun day just broke out like after he got drafted, but even then, he was still not very good. He had a lot of drop issues. He could draft the corner, William Jackson, pick 24. They had Xavier Rhodes, still really good. Xavier Rhodes, to say they had they drafted Trey Waynes previous year, but they could still be up the corner. They tackle Kenny Clark at 27. Selden Bell Joseph at the time, but they could have Clark and Joseph for a few years could have been really good duo. Like any of those guys would have been to Treadle. At least they could have tried to. At least they can be contributors on that 2017-18 Angie Championship team. Treadle wasn't. So yeah. Now let's go to the Patriots. Got another wide receiver going to 2019 this time. Got the Patriots with wide receiver N'Keal Harry. I took him with 32nd pick in 2019. Yeah, he was a bust. So and now he's a tight end. I don't think he's with anybody right now. He was spent last time team he played with was the Vikings. I don't know for sure though. So yeah, he played in 36 games, 18 starts, 57 catches, 598 yards, and 4 TDs. He was not that. He was not good. They could have drafted a good wide receiver. Maybe Brady doesn't leave, and then, or at least it stays a little longer. So yeah, players they could have drafted corner. Byron Murphy at 33. Then Christian and Gonzalez. They had some good corners, but they could have still some out there. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel 36. Monagar receiver Go Samuel could have really helped. Corner Sean Murphy Bunton 39. Cassian Murphy. Tackle Dalton Reisner pick 41. Probably one and done. I could say a Trent Brown and Isaiah Wynn, but they could still use tackle to help there. And then he was well after 10 picks after Harry, but DK Metcalf was also there. AJ Brown was also there. Even Deontay Johnson has some good years there. That receiver class 2019 was really good, even though only 2 guys went in the first round. Harry was one of them. So yeah. Let's go to the Saints. Going back to the defense, you got edge rusher. We got edge rusher Peyton Turner, going 28th pick in 2021. Yeah, they drafted him 21. He really, as you see, he had 0 starts. He didn't really do much. He is now I think he's a Cowboy. I could be wrong there. So yeah, he didn't do much. He played in 31 games, 0 starts, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 5 sacks, 50 total tackles, and 30 solo. So yeah, he just was never very good. He didn't get a ton of playing time, but even when he did, he didn't really do much. They could have drafted edge rusher Greg Rousseau at pick 30, really helped, or even edge rusher Daffy Away at 31, could really help them at edge. Corner Tyson Campbell at 33. They had Marshall Lattimore. This was before they got Debo and all those guys, so they could have used up there. Safety Javon Holland at 36. They had Marcus Smith at that point, I believe. Marcus Williams is gone now, I think. And this might have been the season after. But yeah, they could use safety. This was before they got Tyrann Mathieu. Lineman Landon Dickerson, 37. Maybe if they get Dickerson, he is a guard, but maybe if they get Dickerson, they don't draft another bust. And Trevor Penning the next year could go on Penning, but he's still on the team, so maybe he turns around. I doubt it, but you never know for sure. So yeah, and then D lineman Christian Barmore at 38. Not get help at that front. Barmore could really help there. So yeah. Next, we got the Giants. We got our first quarterback in a while. Got QB Daniel Jones. They took him in the 6th pick in 2019. Okay, he did have one good year with 1 playoff win, but other than that, he was not very good. They paid him, and by doing that, they couldn't resign Saquon Barkley, which really hurt them. So yeah. He played 70 games. He had 69 starts. He was 24, 44, and 1 and 1 playoff win. He had 1,437 completions and 2,241 attempts, 64.1 completion percentage, 70 TDs, and 47 interceptions. He had one good year. Other than that, he was not that good. They took a big cap penalty to get rid of him. So yeah, they could draft Josh Hines Allen at 7 instead. Could really use that help. They didn't have anybody in the roster they have now at that point. And to tackle and Oliver at 9. They got Dexter Lawrence at 17, so they technically didn't have him yet. just because it was later. So they could have had him. Tight end TJ Hawkinson at 8, maybe. And then, and also, if you don't get Jones, maybe in 2020 you get a higher pick, or you still have 4. Yes, Andrew Thomas was a great pick. Maybe since you don't Jones, you take Tua or Herbert. So yeah, kind of done that too. Linebacker Rashawn McBerry at 12. Really good pass rusher. D lineman Kristen Wilkins at 13. Kind of same thing I said with Oliver. They didn't have Dexter Lawrence technically yet. Then lineman Chris Lindstrom at 14. Could have been really good help at guard for them. Edge rusher Brian Burns at 16. Could have got him sooner. Then it's after 10 picks, but it's kind of noteworthy because it was just one pick after. And it was their own pick, but still. But then a little better if you drafted Lawrence at 6 and then Jones at 17, because then Lawrence Jones is a mid-first round pick, which is a little better than a top 6 pick. But either way, so yeah. Now that's it for them. Going to our New York team, we got the Jets with an QB. We got former third overall pick. We got QB Sam Darnold, his third pick in 2018. Yeah, I feel like it just was like how they career and like, hey, he turned it around with the Vikings and now potentially Seahawks this upcoming season, but he was terrible with them. Definitely not top 3rd pick. Could have gone Zach Wilson 21, but Zach Wilson didn't have any quarterbacks that would have been worthy drafting over him in a redraft. So the only good quarterback in that class was Trevor Lawrence, and he would have been still going 1 versus Darnold. They see it better that from him. They could have gone Josh Allen or even Lamar Jackson at 32. So it's like they could have gone a different quarterback versus 21. They couldn't really have. They could have, but wouldn't have gotten much better. So yeah, he played in 38 games. He had 38 starts. He went 13-25. He had 729 completions for 1,219 attempts, 59.7 completion percentage, 45 TDs, and 39 INTs. This wasn't that good. So yeah, could have the corner. Denzel Ward 4. They didn't have Sauce Gardner. They didn't have DJ Reed. Yes, they could have released up corner. Could have got a lineman Quentin Nelson at pick 6. He's had some really good years with the Colts. Then, if you want to go quarterback, could have gone Josh Allen at 8. Then linebacker Roquan Smith at 9. Really good linebacker. They didn't have CJ Mosley or Prince Williams yet. Then in safety, Patrick at 11 because he has safety. The tackle Vita Vea at 12. They didn't have Quinn Williams because he had 19, so he could be really good for them. And the tackle Jerron Payne at pick 13. Kind of same thing I said with Vea. They didn't have Williams yet. So yeah, that's it for them. Now let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles. For them, we got Baba Siva, Jalen Orega. Took him with the 21st pick in 2020. 1 second, I guess I forgot to put his stats up. All right, sorry about that, guys. I forgot to put his stats in, so I'll just show it here. A little bit 2 seasons for them. Those 2 seasons, he did not do much. And the next pick, who a lot of people thought they were going to be drafting on the draft, Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in the league, if not the best. If he keeps up his pace and stays healthy on his career, probably one of the best ever. And they didn't say they went rigor. I'm looking for, even if you don't go JJ, go get wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. He had a bad year this last season, but he did have a really good. He had some good years before that. And QB Jordan Love at 26. Carson, a lot of people smashed Jalen Hurts pick at first because they thought Carson Wentz would be their future. Obviously, it didn't have happening, but they didn't have Hurts yet because he was in the 2nd round, so they could have gone Love instead. With him, at least would have been better than Reeker. So yeah. Next, that's it for them. Let's go back to the AFC. Got another quarterback. Got the Steelers with QB Kenny Pickett. Took him with 20th pick in 2022. Yeah, they've had some bad picks, but at least they've been decent. Devin Bush wasn't a great pick, but he was okay. But also, when his quarterbacks are more noteworthy draft, so I kind of Pickett instead. But yeah, he played in 25 games. He had 24 starts. He went 14-10. He had 446 completions and 713 attempts for 4,474 yards, 62.5 completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, and 13 INTs. He really did not do very good to him. He is now a Brown. He is a Super Bowl champ, just not with them. So yeah, the coach at the corner, Trenton McDuffie at 21. They didn't have Joey Porter because he got in 2023, so they could really use that corner. Linebacker Quay Walker, 22. Like I said before, Bush didn't really turn out great, so they could have used Walker. Tackle Tyler Smith at 24. Could have really good self protection. O-lineman Tyler Linderbaum at 25. He's been a really good center in the league. So yeah. Next, we got another quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks. Got the Niners with QB Trey Lance at pick 3 and 21. It was pretty easy just because he was third pick. He was terrible. He never really played, and they traded a ton for him. But like second guy is pretty kind of notable is Javon Kinlaw. They got that pick from the DeForest Buckner trade, and that worked out horribly. So yeah, but yeah, Trey Lance. They drafted the third pick. They trade up and gave up a ton. And one of the picks they gave up ended up turning the Dolphins ended up trading it for Tyreek Hill. So yeah. Yeah, he played 8 games for them. He had 4 starts. He was 2-2, 56 completions, 102 attempts, 56.6 completion percentage, 5 TDs, and 3 INTs. He just really didn't do anything. They ended up getting Purdy the next year, which kind of hurt him. So yeah, players that could have gone instead. Our receiver, Jamar Chase, and Vontae Daniel Models at 5 and 6. They did have Ayuk and Debo already, but can you imagine one of those two guys in that core wide receiver weapon? Tackle Penny Sewell at 7. Him and Trent Williams could have been an elite tackle duo if they got Sewell. Corner, Pat Surtain the second at 9. Assuming they still get Trevor's Ward. Him and Trevor's Ward could have been a really good corner duo. Devontae Smith, kind of the same thing. It's a Chase and Waddle. Linebacker Micah Parsons at 12. Him and Bosa, and even Armstead at 7 point. Those 3 would have been really good, really scary pass rushers all together. And then tackle Rashawn Slater at 13. Kind of same thing I said with Sewell. So yeah, that's it for them. Let's go to the division rival. Let's go Seahawks. Go back to 2018 draft class. We got the Seahawks with D lineman LJ Collier. They took him 29th pick in 2019. He did nothing. I believe he's out of the league now. If he isn't, he doesn't really play. So yeah, he had 45 games for them, 16 starts, 5 pass deflections, 40 total tackles, 24 solo, and 3 sacks. This was not good. Players that could have gotten instead: tackle Caleb McGarry at 31. Could have used help by protection. They've been sure staff for a few years. Corner Byron Murphy at 33. They didn't have any of their corners at this point. Sherman was gone, so they could definitely use corner help. Our receiver Deebo Samuel, 36. They did get DK Metcalf in this trap, but they didn't get him yet, so they could have gone Deebo instead maybe in the first. Corner Sean Murphy Bunton at 39. Kind of the same thing said with Murphy. So let's go to Buccaneers. Staying on defense. Going back to corner room, we got the corner Bucks with corner Vernon Hargraves at pick 11 with 2016. Yeah, like he is not that good. So yeah, he played in 35 games for them. He had 34 starts, 2 INTs, 21 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 165 total tackles, and 147 solo. It was not getting coverage. They got rid of him pretty quick. Could have drafted D tackle Sheldon Rankins at 12. They didn't have Vita Vea because they released tackle yet. They could have gone tackle Laramie Tunsil at 13. So yeah, him and Don Smith could go tackle duo for a year. Maybe get with Don Smith earlier, and then him, Tunsil, and Worst could have been a really good tackle duo. And then tackle Taylor Decker at 16, a really good tackle. And center Ryan Kelly at 18, really good center for a while. So that's it for them. Now let's go to the second to last team. We got Tennessee Titans, first alignment, I think, in this whole video. We got the Titans with tackle Isaiah Wilson. Stats: 1 game played. He didn't even start it. That is literally it. He did nothing. He spent 1 season with them, got traded to the Dolphins, didn't report to them. They released him. It's bad league sense. He could have drawn Treylon Burks. They traded. The pick they got to use on him was trade they got for A.J. Brown, but at least Burks has done something, but Wilson didn't even do that. Or even Marcus Mariota, but Mariota had some good, decent years with them. Wilson literally did nothing. It's bad when the guy doesn't even make it past the first season of the team. And even when he got traded, it was for a late round pick. It's not like they got a decent pick for them. At least with the Cardinals and Rosen, they got a second round pick for him. Not the Titans. They got nothing. Drafted instead wide receiver T. Higgins at 33, and my receiver Mike Pittman at 34. One of those guys, and Brown and a really good wide receiver duo. Maybe you don't draft another bust in Burks in a couple of years if you have one of those guys. Even if you do still end up trading AJ Brown. The safety Xavier McKinney at 36. Him and Kevin Byard could have been a really good safety duo. Guard Robert Hunt at 39. you still want to go line, he's not a tackle, but still want to go line somewhere, Kogan Hunt's going to really help their guard situation. So yeah, now let's go to the last team. Got another guy who barely lasted on the team. He is now on the Rams, I believe. Got the Commanders corner, Emmanuel Forbes. It's pick 16 in 2023. So yeah, I could go on Dwayne Haskins, who did nothing for them, but I tried to avoid him just because he died after he was away from the team, but just because he did pass away. So I tried to stay away from that. So that's why I see it. Played 20 games for them. Had 8 starts, 2 INTs, 13 pass deflections, 50 total, 41 solo tackles. He literally is already off the team. It's never good when a guy didn't even make it to the end of the second season. Like, especially in the first, like, he's the top half of the first round. First round picks, you don't make it at least the second or third season. Not Forbes. They released him for nothing. Yeah, the Commanders' previous regime literally left this current regime like nothing first round picks. Like, the most recent first round pick that is still on the team now is that I can think of, not including Jaden Daniels, but I'm just saying by the previous regime, Jerron Payne in 2018. That's it. Like, 2019, Haskins, bust. Montez Sweat was good, but he's gone. 2020, Young, he was good, but he's gone. 2021, who's that? I can't think. I'm blanking who they drafted. 22, Jahan Dotson. They end up trading him before season even starts to the Eagles. Then 23 at Forbes, complete bust. And it's literally the next picks. They could have drafted the lead corner Christian Gonzalez at 17, and a really great contributor to their NFC Championship run this year. Our receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba at 20, been a great duo with Terry McLaurin for Jane Daniels this year. Our receiver, Jordan Aston, 23. Can't say anything with McLaurin. Njigba is a little better, but Aston's still good. Receiver's good, number 2. Tight end, Dalton Kincaid at 25. Yes, they had Zach Ertz, so he's getting older. So, it's only about time he retires. So, yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.